Hello Kingdom fan, and welcome back from this long torturous break. I know we all want to see what happens next, and trust me, this chapter sets up one of, if not the most crucial fights we will be seeing in this campaign. But before we get into that, you know that we gotta talk about this chapter because it answers a good chunk of the questions we had after the last chapter. And as always, Kingdom fans, if you enjoy this channel and seeing plenty of Kingdom content in general, then please hit that like and subscribe button down below with that notification bell so you can stay up to date with the channel. And so diving right on into the chapter, we see that Yotanwa's guards noticed immediately that Yotanwa has been pierced through the chest with an arrow, and all dive to save her from falling off her horse. And it was at this very moment that Yotanwa's closest and most trusted commanders, Shunmen, Taijifu, and of course Bajio, all freeze on the spot in their battlefields out of just pure instinct, almost as if they were right next to Yotanwa and witnessed the arrow hitting her with their very eyes. And then we jump back into Yotanwa on the ground, being surrounded by her men, where they are shouting at her to wake up, saying she must not die. They even offer to sacrifice themselves to the mountain gods to heal her. One dude even goes on to offer up his own tribe. And that is what you get when you have absolute faith and loyalty in someone. I understand her personal guards wanting to sacrifice themselves, but willing to sacrifice his own tribe. It's like, oh yeah, instead of just sacrificing myself, I'll go sacrifice a couple of dozen people, maybe 100 or more, just to heal you. That's like cult level following if you think about it. It's terrifying when you think about it, that Yotanwa has achieved an almost godlike state among her people. And of course, hearing all this, Yotanwa wakes up, and to no surprise, of course she did. She's the Mountain King, and the King of the Mountains would never fall to something as simple as an arrow wound, even if it is literally going right through her chest. If that was a flatlander, they'd just be lying dead on the ground. But no, not Yotanwa, not the Lord of Death. And all she can hear is her men saying, let them return to their mountain realms, let them go back to their mountains, let them return home. I mean, that's all they can do. I mean, look at Yotanwa, she is on death's doorstep. The woman has never looked this bad. Even during the Western Zhao invasion, where she was barely able to stand up, covered in wounds and exhausted from a full day's battle, she looked better than this. But of course, Hara being Hara takes us away from this, and then he sent us right over to the Zhao HQ, where we see Shun Suiju receiving word that Yotanwa has been struck by the arrow. And while all the Zhao commanders are cheering happy out, Shun Suiju is just there with a pouty look on his face. You know what, when you think about it, it's really fair. The dude has been after Yotanwa and vice versa for years now. For it to end so easily for him, you have to imagine he is just disappointed she went down so easily. Though in my opinion, I think he's just more annoyed that it was Riboku's plan that took her down and not his own. The dude is just an elusive cloud of air, or whatever you want to call him. You do not know what he's thinking. He is a world-class poker face, and his thoughts are just a mystery at any point in time. The only time he only said what he actually thought was how much he hated the king. He's always been very blunt that he would happily kill the king for Riboku, or even just for his own peace of mind, really. But now we get into the second half of the chapter, and holy crap is it good. So we hop back into the mountain tribes again, and we arrive at their HQ where the 4 remaining mountain generals meet, where they await anxiously the news about Yotanwa. And I speak of course of, once again, Bajio, Shunmin, Taijifu, and then there's Kitari, who just joined us from the left wing. Shaking with fear, they hear the tale of how Yotanwa was struck, but while this news is dark, there yet shines a small light, a tiny glimmer of hope, for Yotanwa yet lives. Yes, it's true, the arrow somehow missed her heart by something of a hair's breadth, and she sends a message to her trusted commanders before she once again passes out. First, they must keep the news of her injury a secret, so that they can keep the morale high of the mountain armies. Her absence from the battlefield must never be known. And second, that no matter what, they must fight on despite the difficult battle that is bound to occur now that she and the Figo King are away from the battlefield. Because you just know that Shun Suiju is going to be going all out on attack while he has this opportunity, while the mountain tribe's command is more or less just crumbling around them. Yet the mountain tribes do not know. With the Figo army basically being crushed on the right wing thanks to Danto's absence, Shun Suiju will now focus, probably at least, the majority of his strength on the center and his right wing, or the mountain's left wing, whatever you want to call it. Oh, and by the way, Danto is actually still alive. Somehow, yeah, that dude is still alive. As of right now, the Figo King, who took an arrow through the neck, who couldn't stop his neck from bleeding, who couldn't stop coughing up blood as he was still choking on his own blood to get out the words, is somehow still alive. Yeah, he is out of commission, but he is still alive. Somehow, Danto has defied the rules of biology and probably somehow physics to still be alive. We all knew that dude was stubborn to a fault, but this takes it to a whole new level. If I wasn't terrified, I'd be amazed. Which of course raises the question on why Seika'un has actually failed to kill anyone so far, despite him being supposedly the #1 archer in all of China. And yes, you could make the argument that he did hit all his targets, because he did, that's a fact, no one's questioning it. But you still have to admit, it's something that should be discussed. For such an elite archer, he has absolutely failed at his job. And this brings us to the absolutely lethal cliffhanger of the chapter, where we now see Seika'un moving on to the next battlefield for his next target, and surprisingly no, it isn't the battlefield with Muten and the Gakuka. Apparently Muten is a much harder target for him than Yotanwa, thanks to him being a strategic type of general who stays in his HQ most of the time. So then who is the logical next target, you ask? Well, of course it would probably be the general on the neighbouring battlefield from Muten and the Gakuka, which of course brings us to our favourite general, Shin of the High Shin unit. Yep, that's right. This is the battle I was talking about at the start of the video. This is where the most lethal bow in all of China will meet the two archer brothers of the High Shin unit. And while this is fantastic to hear, we are getting one of the biggest showdowns of the entire campaign almost right off the bat. Maybe at the end of the first day or the second day, we don't know. And this only begs the question even further, how will this play out? Who on this battlefield will Seika'un target first? Could it be Kyokai, Shin's #2, who still has prodigious talent and is unrecognized by many opponents? Could it perhaps be Ryoko, the biggest unknown factor on this battlefield? Or obviously Shin? And if it is Shin, then it will come down to two things on whether or not Seika'un will be successful. The first will be Shin's naturally high instincts and his dangerously sharp reflexes, and will they allow them to pick up on Seika'un's killing intent, which even Yotanwa could not detect? And #2, will the mountain tribe send out a rider to all battlefields, warning them of a lethal assassin roaming around? Either way, I think it's safe to say that Seika'un won't actually decide his next target. Seeing as how he's going to that battlefield, he will meet with Riboku and let him decide on who the next target should be. Though if that is the case, it is almost guaranteed he will select Shin, since he's the only person who Riboku is genuinely afraid to face on the battlefield, at least in my opinion. And yes, you could make the argument that he's worried about Wu Sen and other kin generals like Mobu and such, but first off, Mobu isn't on this battlefield and Wu Sen is taking on the army of Sika. But when it comes to an actual battlefield, Shin has more power to turn the tides of a battle more than Wu Sen does, because Wu Sen just sits on his horse in the rear. Shin leads from the front and uses not only his strategies that the High Shin unit has, but also his instinctual command abilities to sense even the worst of dangers. Now of course we will also have to wonder what will happen next on the Mountain Tribe battlefield. With Katari being in command of the left wing, they're all set, but who will take over the right wing and center forces? I think Baggio is the best choice to take command of the right wing, because he and his army are the only ones right now that can hope to make up for the loss of power left by the Figo tribe, while leaving Shunmen and Taijifu to take care of the center. And seeing as how they're both, well not both, but all of them are burning hot with rage right now thanks to Yotanwa, you just know that this battlefield is going to become extremely messy, extremely bloody, extremely brutal. It's going to be dirty, it's going to be gritty, it's going to be cinematic, it's going to be dark, let's be real, it's going to be relentless warfare, and odds are we won't see even a tenth of what will actually be happening. And even then, we won't see them again for a while, I'm willing to bet. And when we do see that battlefield, they won't be in the best of shape, because it's the genius of Shun Suiju versus the ferocity of the mountain tribes. And from a strategic standpoint, we don't know what the mountain tribe commanders are actually capable of. Now we know that they're capable of fighting. God knows we know that. But from an actual strategic point of view, we don't know what they're capable of. As for the next few chapters though, I don't think we will see Seika'un arriving on the Shin Riboku battlefield for a while. We still gotta see how everyone else is doing, and I personally am hoping to see the Wu Sen battlefield next. While I am not the biggest Wusen fan, as I have long said, I do want to see what his new commanders are capable of. His whole army is basically unknown to us right now, and we need all the questions we have about them answered. I mean, I've been saying this for a long time. You cannot say that the new commanders are just as capable as the old ones and then not show us. That's beyond cruelty. I mean, Denrimi was impressive but not too impressive, but to say someone is equal to Aku, that is something that needs to be shown, and not just a little bit. That needs to be shown fully, and I can't wait to see it. And so, Kingdom fans, I think that is all I have to say about this chapter for now. Let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear your opinions, and if you enjoyed this video, then please, for me, remember to hit that like and subscribe button down below with that notification bell. I hope to be seeing you in the next one.